let's get on the news. Let's get to the news. All right, let's go. Shout out, as always, to our GOAT Pierre. This is the guy who always rounds out all the news. Nintendo Financials, my favorite report to go to because they actually go and break down details about everything. So shout out Pierre. So Nintendo Switch 2 shipped another 3.8 million units, now over 23 million in 13 months. That is the fastest selling Nintendo console after 5 quarters. That I think is crazy. I still do find the fact that the Switch is the fastest selling Nintendo console kind of insane. I just feel like because I don't know, man. I don't know how they do it, bro. Obviously, you know, the Switch 2 is big, but it's like, it's kind of crazy to see how fast it's selling. But yeah, it's over the GameCube, so, which is insane. Obviously, double the Wii U's. I mean, it is unbelievable how cataclysmically bad the Wii U sold, man. Like, the fact that in 1 year, Switch 2 is almost at double the Wii U is like, it is genuinely shocking how bad the Wii U was. Like, it's like genuinely shocking. So good for them. Nintendo shipped another 9 million games on Switch 2. So now we're into the games. This was crazy. Again, I mega take the L on this, bro. I absolutely take the biggest L of all time on Tamagotchi Life, bro. I really do, man. I really thought it was gonna sell a couple million and dip, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I gifted 10 last time, man. You know, I mega apologize. I'm sorry, Tamagotchi Life, bro. I really thought that first financial would cook and then it'd be over. I'm so sorry. This is your second time doubting this game. Listen, man. I mean, it's over. I really do wonder how this makes Nintendo feel about Switch 2 exclusive versus cross releases. You know, I really wonder if this is gonna affect like how they do Switch 2 versus Switch 1 and 2 games. They don't care. I don't know, man. I mean, we'll talk about all the others, but apologize to the Switch 1. I'm sorry, man. You know, I think they're done with Switch 1 first party. Yeah, maybe this is going to be their last hurrah on there. Why did you think that the game was going to sell a few million? I just thought that because 1, Pacopia was out, and 2, I felt like the game didn't have this. Because to me, what my reasoning came from the fact that, like, Animal Crossing was a lifestyle game. In a sense of, like, it, you know, it was during COVID, people were playing it together. It had like it had something to do beyond, right? Whereas I really did feel like Tamagotchi Life was going to be fun for that first month or two. People make their funny characters and then they dip. But no, I guess I was wrong. Yeah, no, people are buying the shit out of this. 8 million in 3 months, it immediately became the franchise best-selling title. So you also said people don't care about Switch 1 games anymore. Did I? Oh, yeah, that's probably true. I probably did say that. I believe that. So I'm happy for Tamagotchi Life, though. I wonder if this means they are going to actually do DLC. I feel like they should. I mean, if you're at 8 million units, make DLC, make like an actual Switch 2 edition where it's like locked 4K 60, add some new content in there. I feel like they should. I mean, you know, I feel like you should capitalize if it's selling this fucking well. You know, and add karaoke back, add some of the stuff in there. Yeah, make like a $10 update. All right, this is the most disappointing part about all this. So Super Mario Party Jamboree reached 1 million units after 11 months. Exceeds now Jamboree in total is at 11.11 million units, which I'm fine with Jamboree selling well, you know, but Jamboree TV, whatever. But to be fair, like, this is like still not great in terms of like Mario Party standards of like the Switch era. Like Super and Superstars sold a lot more. Why is this bullshit the best-selling Switch 2 edition? Again, it's casuals, dude. It really is casuals. It's casuals being like Mario Party, you know, which is like I've said this before, like this is like a year or two ago, you know, like Mario Party in the Switch era suddenly became one of Nintendo's most valued IPs. You know, like it wasn't like that before. Like literally, like look at all of Mario Party besides the DS and Wii. It was always like a 2 to 3 million seller. And then boom, like the Switch comes out and Mario Party is now like genuinely one of like their biggest IPs. So I'm sure they're obviously working on another one, you know, but it was always a staple Sunset, but like it wasn't like this when you're selling this amount of copies, I'm like, oh, this is one of our big guns. You know, this is like one of the biggest guns out there. So this also tells you Switch 2 editions are counted. So Metroid, Wonder, and StarCross lovers didn't get to 1 million. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll talk about the things that have not appeared on here. But yeah, so Jamboree TV, whatever. Pocopia, so Pocopia is weird. They do this weird thing where they separate the sales of the game. So Pocopia is now over 3.6 million units in 4 months. Japanese shipments are not included, which is weird. That's another 1.7 million. It's the best-selling Pokemon spin-off by Nintendo the last 15 years. But yeah, I guess it is. It's probably at around like 5 million if you count the Japanese units sold and everything. So good for Pocopia. Continues to sell well. Look at these. Yeah, it was cut by Tamagotchi Life a little bit, but yeah, this gives so Corey dudes in check laser Mario Party events. Whoa, bro. Whoa, chill, dude. ZA shipped another 50k units on Switch 2. That's 4 million units in total for that version, while total sales are over 12 million. Which again, like 50k units just this last quarter. I'm like, damn, it's not a game people are really returning to for Pokemon. That's like a really small amount. Because it's even worse than Arceus, I feel. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, ZA is pretty good. I think also ZA didn't have like the power that Arceus had. So yeah, I mean, it's still yeah, people are waiting for Gen 10 now. So that makes sense. It's fine. Mario Kart World shipped another 690k units in this quarter, now over 15.40 million. It's the second fastest selling in the franchise, trailing behind Mario Kart Wii at 17.39. So yeah, Mario Kart World now living its post-bundled life. I mean, technically, it still could be bundled because they have that bundle now where you can choose DK, Mario Kart, or Pocopia. So it's still technically bundle merchant, right? Look at this. Mario Kart this quarter, Mario Kart 8, mind you, 450k units, and this one 690k. Like, that's crazy. That like Mario Kart 8 is like still selling damn near the amount that World is. I don't know, like what, like I don't know. There's a few. I am gonna scroll to the other guy, but I really feel like, yeah, Nintendo, the $80 did not work out, and I think it's showing that, like, I don't know if it's like a lack of interest on first party games or the price increase, but like, yeah, I just don't know. I feel like the fact that people are still buying Mario Kart 8 is crazy to the extent they are almost 10 years old. And that's even factoring the fact that technically it's an almost 12-year-old game. So yeah, man, crazy. I don't know. If you're being technical, second fastest in the franchise behind Wii. So, and World costs more. So yeah, Kirby Air Riders in the ditch. 30k units this quarter. Big yikes. Big yikes, bro. It's tough out there. It's tough. Just tell me I shoot myself. It's okay. I can take it up. I'll do it. It's okay. I'm so sorry, Sonic. I have to kill you, buddy. Jamboree TV catching up, man. Yeah. I think, again, look, it's two things about Air Riders. One, like Sakurai said it himself, this was a niche fucking game. He made it for the fans. He moved on with his life. No new content, no new anything. And also, yeah, $70, you know. I think this, had Air Riders come out this year, I feel like it would have been like 60 physical, 50 digital. You know, I appreciate his honesty that he accepted it was going to be niche. Yeah. He himself was like, look, I made this for he literally in there, he's like, I made this for the fans. You know, no new content's going to be in there. Obviously, you have like the little hat events that, you know, maybe a few thousand people are locked in on. But yeah, 30k in a quarter is not great, but it's also not a game that was meant to get legs. It's still a Kirby spinoff, and the number's already bigger than most. Exactly. DK Bonanza shipped 260k units during the fourth quarter for a total of, dude, this game cannot get past 4 million units. Holy shit, dude. It is fighting for its life to get up to 5 million. It's gonna get there. You know, more sales than Sonic, unsurprising. It's insane, dude. Yeah, I mean, again, in the echelon of DK, oof, still under DK 64 is kind of sad. Now check Odyssey, says 300k this quarter. Jesus Christ, man. How did Odyssey this quarter sell more than Bonanza, dude? That's what's shocking is like, what's surprising me about the Switch 2 is like, fastest selling Nintendo console by far. but the games aren't like selling like it. I feel like it used to be like when the Switch came out, the Switch effect was that like any Nintendo game that came out would sell 1 million ASAP, no matter what. It's still selling good. Like these are still high numbers. Like most games ever would pray to reach 4 million copies. But the difference between Switch 1 and Switch 2 is it was very, very, very clear that when you own the Switch 1, you had to buy Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. Like those were like your killer ass. You had to buy them no matter what, you know? And I think the difference is for Switch 2, they don't have that. For Switch 2, people are choosing. Like there is to this day, there is not a game. When someone asks me, I'm getting a Switch 2, I usually, when the people used to ask me for a Switch, I would tell them, go get Breath of the Wild right now and go buy Odyssey. Switch 2, I don't know what to tell someone. I'm like, do you like platformers? Do you want like, I mean, kart is great, you know, but it's not a must this time around. They have so much variety, but they don't have like a killer app, you know? And a lot of this because of major third-party titles didn't get ported, or when they did ports, they weren't great. Now we're getting consistent and good ports. People can use their system to buy third-party games. That's true too. I mean, people are also buying third-party games on the console. They're releasing a fuck ton of great games, but they don't have like the killer game. And that's why I think all these sales aren't like insane, is because I think people are genuinely picking and choosing what they want, you know? I hope it sells more because DK Bonanza is a great game, but it does again show you that even Nintendo knows DK is not Mario. So here we go. This is the bad news, which really upset me. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book after 41 days. They didn't sell 1 million. Star Fox 6 days did not reach 1 million units, which you could argue. But yeah, this is definitely upsetting. I was upset that Yoshi didn't hit 1 million. I was really upset. I'm not shocked, you know? Apparently it is still selling steadily. It's probably going to hit 1 million. But yeah, 41 days without 1 million for a first-party Nintendo game. Tough, man. But to be fair, I mean, yeah, the marketing was dog shit. We all agree. You know, I think literally only this chat. I think we are probably on Twitch.tv one of 8 people that did a full playthrough of this game. You know what I mean? I genuinely, I'm sure we could probably count it on our hands how many people did a playthrough of this game. I know it's not about Sonic, but Sega will still tell you that Crossroads didn't meet expectation with these comparisons. That's true too. But here's my thing about Star Fox is, while Star Fox did only have 6 days to track, I am still shocked that it didn't hit 1 million on like that week. You know, I am still shocked that it didn't hit 1 million in that week. Because it looked like from the Amazon numbers and the pre-orders and the pre-hype for it and the movie that like, I felt like it really was going to be like a banger straight up. But again, it's going to be at 1 million by next thingy. I guess, again, I'm just surprised that it wasn't immediate, you know, because it felt like a lot of Nintendo games get immediately peak. So, yeah. Again, all these numbers really like surprise me. It just reminds me of that Scott the Waz video. People always want these franchises to come back, but when they do, nobody supports it enough for them to continue in the future. I think F09 was the only side I saw hype for that. Yeah, again, my surprise just comes from the fact that I thought these would be selling a lot more, but I even think that because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with Switch 1, which obviously is a good thing, it should be. I think, again, there are people that buy Switch 2 and also buy Switch 1 games, you know? But yeah, no Mario Wonder plus pull up my meat up, you know, and jack it up at Bella Bell Park was not there at 1 million. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the Star-Crossed Lovers Across the City did not sell 1 million either. So yeah, man, it's a little upsetting, which is crazy because the Super Mario Wonder edition was like my favorite. I think Nintendo is like, again, they're releasing a lot of banger games. I think this is the most GameCube-like era Nintendo we've ever had in terms of the weird fucking games they're releasing. But it's still like, I mean, it's a good thing, but it's weird for their sales. And also, again, the Switch 2 has third-party games on it and everything. Mario Kart 8, 450K total sales at 71 million, which is crazy. Animal Crossing officially has hit 50 million units, especially because it has a Switch 2 edition. So crazy, man. It benefits Nintendo that the Switch 2 is selling their fast-selling console because they're looking, all right, well, at the end of the day, the hardware is selling. How you thinking those two are doing? Splatoon is hitting 1 million. I mean, no question. I think Splatoon is actually going to be I think Splatoon by the financials of September 30th, which is the next one, will be like 2.5 to 3 million. Because Japan physically alone, Splatoon sold 500,000. And so if you count digital Japan and then in the West and how big Splatoon is, I think that game is going to be like at 2.5 to 3 million by September. I feel it. You know? I think Rhythm Heaven's probably sold really well too. I could see Rhythm Heaven being at like 1 million. Yeah, there's that updated list of that fucking what 85 Nintendo Switch games. Jesus Christ, bro. Brothership surely passed 2 million by now. Dude, where is Brothership? Mario and Luigi Brothership. Oh, here it is, bro. 1.97, bro. One day it'll get 2 million for you, buddy. To cap the Nintendo talk, I'm excited for more Nintendo games to come out. You know, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see. You know, I'm happy the console's selling well. But I do think it's time. I think the next Direct needs like, hey, fucking buy this shit. You need this. This is why you need this thing. You know what I'm saying, bro? Now, to be fair, next year is going to be crazy. Pokemon Wind and Waves is going to be the biggest release ever. You know, we're probably going to get Mario or Smash Bros. Next year. So, and, you know, Zelda Ocarina is going to be this fall. So, yeah, you're right. I guess next Direct will be after the price increase. And I think Nintendo wants you to know why you need the console. You know? So, I think that is also like a big deal. They're going to be like, how do we make sure people are still buying this? I think Ocarina is going to be that. I think the Ocarina remake, like visually already, I'm like, I could tell on a Switch when that thing would have like fucking blown up, you know? I really think the way they're going to treat the final Ganon battle, you know, the big beats of that game, like, you know, seeing Hyrule Temple, destroyed Hyrule Temple when like you go to the future and seeing like the sky, it's probably going to be the craziest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? So I'm sure Hyrule Field is going to look unbelievable. I think that game is going to be like a whoa. Hell yeah, man. Very excited.